In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spaulding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spaulding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th consecutive year of record enrollment. All the while, UT's academic profile continues to increase. There has been $350 million in new construction since 2000. We have added 7 new residence halls, academic buildings and labs, as well as athletic facilities. Plant Hall even got new carpet and new windows. UT now has more than 3,000 events annually and 200 clubs and student organizations. We have won 13 NCAA Division II championships, and since 2000, Spartan teams have won 35 Sunshine State Conference titles. As a member of the University of Tampa Spartan family, you are a guiding force behind UT's remarkable success. We are alums, students, parents, and friends, and together we are changing lives. We are individuals, yet the greater whole is only complete when we work together. You have helped make UT a vibrant community with growing resources and a superior reputation. Just like in the beginning when professors worked without pay, the spirit of giving at UT remains strong. Last year, nearly $14 million was donated to the university by thousands of generous supporters. When we strengthen education, we strengthen our job force and our nation as a whole. Donations support academics, campus life, and a student's ability to afford an education. Your participation is what matters most and shows that our Spartan family believes in the future of UT. Whatever level of support, your gift is important to us and enables UT to provide the challenging, high-quality education that has defined our university. Thank you for helping UT achieve such great success.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Welcome, everybody, to University of Tampa baseball on a sun-splashed Saturday afternoon in downtown Tampa. The Spartans, ranked number 2 in the nation, get ready to take on Nova Southeastern in a Sunshine State Conference basketball. Hi, everybody. Jack Ike along with Shane Potagna and a new broadcast partner with me, a sophomore? Sophomore here at the UW. And we've got doubleheader baseball, so get used to that chair.
Well, it's a pleasure to be with you today, and like Ernie Banks always said, let's play 2.
Yeah.
So,
why not?
To get started.
So the Spartans won last night, 6-2, the final score in that one, and the Spartans are the lone unbeaten team in the Sunshine State Conference. Lone unbeaten team in the Sunshine State Conference, 10-0, 21-4 on the year, ranked second in the nation. Nova Southeastern comes in with a 12-11 record, and they are 3-4 in conference play. Now, Shane, one thing I found interesting is they are 0-8 away from home. Put them on their home turf, they're pretty good, 11-3.
Yeah, that was one thing I noticed doing my research for today. And they started the season 3-8, but were able to turn around and have been on a 9-3 stretch before the series last night. But I think that's partly because they didn't have to go on the road for over a month.
And the Spartans, they win no matter where they go. They're just a really good baseball team. Let's get you the lineups for Nova Southeastern, and they will start in center field is number 2. That's Steven Schisler, a 5'10 junior from Pembroke Pines, Florida. The DH is batting second. That's number 20, Adam Frank, a 6-foot senior from Saddlebrook, New Jersey. Batting third, the second baseman, number 5, and that is Duncan Pastore, a 6'3 junior from Tampa High School, a local product out of Wharton High School. Batting cleanup is the third baseman, number 24. 24 is Daniel Irisari, a 6-foot senior from Miami, Florida. Batting fifth, number 23, Christian Noriega, 6 feet, freshman from Caracas, Venezuela. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 1, Giovanni Castaneda, and he is a 6-foot senior from Miami, Florida. Batting seventh, is number 25, the first baseman, Marcus Franco, 6'3" sophomore from Miramar, Florida. Batting eighth is the catcher, number 3, Colby Avon, a 5'10" junior from Davie, Florida. And batting ninth is the shortstop, number 0, MC Sagaro. He is a 5'5" junior from Davie, Florida. We're ready for the first pitch. On the mound for the Spartans is Thurman, and the first pitch is called a strike. We are underway here in Tampa. Eli Thurman, a sophomore from Bradenton, Florida. And he comes in from one of his first starts of the season.
Well, Eli Thurman, he's been by far the best Spartan starter, posting a 3.15 ERA through 7 starts.
Nice. One thing you'll find is there really are no weaknesses with Tampa. They hit well, they defense well, and their pitching is always very good. There's a drop third strike, throw over to first base, 1 up, 1 down. Around the field for the Spartans is they will have Gutcher behind the plate, Thurman on the mound. E.J. Daskau is at first base. Rodriguez is at second. Drew Earhart is at third. J.D. Urso at short. Jamarcus Lyons in left. Jordan Lala in center. E.J. Cumbo is in right. Second batter is Frank. .333 hitter on the year, has played in and started 10 games. This is his 37th official at-bat of the year. Base hit up the middle. We mentioned Drew Earhart at third base, and by the way, he is playing in his 234th game as a Spartan to set an all-time school record with that one.
Yeah, he's in his 6th season with the Spartans now. So it's not surprising that he got to that mark, and he might be the only one to ever get to that mark.
Yeah. Yeah, he had the extra year with COVID, and, like a lot of players have had. I said, Drew, I think you've been playing longer than I've been broadcasting, and he disputed that and found out I was right. He was right. I've been doing these for 9 years. Seen a lot of players come and go. I think Drew's seen 2 senior days already, too. Thurman's pitch, just missing to Pastore. Pastore, the number 1 hitter, the top hitter on this Nova Southeastern team, .435, has played and started in every game this year. 85 plate appearances, 37 hits on the year. A couple doubles, just 1 home run. Breeze seems to be blowing right to left, so from right field to left field may help balls going to left field leave the park. There's a ball for a walk, so a base hit followed by a walk after an initial strikeout to start the inning. And it will bring Irisari. Or I take that back. That is Irisari. Irisari, .333 hitter on the year, 84 at-bats. 28 hits. Check swing a little bit low. Irisari, one of 3 Sharks hitting over 300 on the year, at least with enough at-bats to qualify in the conference standings. Fouled off. Umpires for today's game. As soon as I get ready to say it, my screen disappears with their names on it. That is a Major League pop-up. J.D. Urso backing out of shortstop, calls for it, makes the catch about 10 feet on the grass.
It'll be big for the Spartans now to get out of this inning here with a runner on second. 2 consecutive hits. I mean, two consecutive base runners, but just need to get one more now, and a blank slate to start this inning is going to be big for them.
They scored. Nova scored first last night. Picked up a run in the first. Spartans came back with 2 in the bottom, and then they were off to the races after that. Ball a little bit low.
Yeah, for as good as Tampa's been on both sides of the ball, they didn't get outplayed. They didn't outplay necessarily Nova. It was 7 hits apiece, but one thing I noticed was a lot of free bases that Nova allowed.
Walks and errors.
Pass
There's
balls,
one
too.
blooped. This may bring in a run. It should with 2 outs. Scoring. Ball down into the left field corner. And that'll go down as a double. And Nova strikes first today. 1-0.
Well, the walk to extend the inning certainly hurt there. And the third out is the hardest one to get.
Not that he hit it hard, but they don't ask you where you hit it or how hard you hit it. He drove in a run and ends up with a double.
Yeah, he'll take that in the stat sheet any day of the week. It looks good.
Tells his friends he hit it off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So 1-0, Nova taking the early lead. Castaneda at the plate now. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 out. Frank scoring after singling as the second batter of the game. Pastore at third, Noriega on second now, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Went upstairs for that one. One ball, 2 strikes. Tries to tease him outside, but misses. Spartans fairly deep and straight away. Doesn't matter, he struck him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning, but they did push a run across. We've played a half an inning. Nova Southeastern on top of Tampa, 1-0 on TampaSpartans.tv.
Lala's coming off a huge week. where he was named SSC Player of the Week for the week of March 20th. He went 7 for 17, had 6 RBIs, 5 runs, 5 walks, 5 stolen bases, and hit his first home run of the season.
That one doesn't get down, a fly out to center field, where it was caught by Schisler. I'll get you on the lineups again. I had the microphone down accidentally there. Lala, as we mentioned, is a senior from Tampa, Florida. Batting second, Drew Earhart. Number 2, a grad student from Tampa, Florida, went to Wharton High School. First pitch from Omans, the lefty outside. Batting third, I'll go through these again, is J.D. Urso, a sophomore from Tampa. Batting fourth, cleanup hitter, is E.J. Daskau. There's a bouncer through the middle, or through short and third for a base hit. Drew Earhart pounds a single for Tampa. Batting fifth is number 14, and that is Santiago Garavito, a sophomore from Plantation, Florida. Batting sixth, E.J. Cumbo, number 19, and he is a junior from East Meadow, New York. Seventh is 13, Luis Rodriguez, a junior from Venezuela. Batting eighth is 0, Jamarcus Lyons, a junior from Tampa. And batting ninth is number 27, and that is Danny Gutcher, a sophomore from Tampa. Omans now in the stretch, looks over at Earhart. The ball, called strike to J.D. Urso.
Yeah, I think the big key for Nova Southeastern today was, like I mentioned in the top half of the inning, I tallied 1 pass ball, 3 wild pitches on top of 7 walks. I count that as 11 free bases they gave the Spartans last night in a game where they both had 7 hits apiece, but the score was 6 Spartans, 2 Sharks.
Yeah, you're giving them. Tampa will seize those opportunities. They won't let them get away. Urso fouls it back.
Yeah, I think there was 3 stolen bases too, which I'm not counting as a free base, but
right. But
when you
move into scoring position,
when you get them on base, they're going to want to take it. Coach Urso loves to play small ball.
Urso, 388 hitter on the year. One of 3 Spartans with over 100 at-bats on the year. Swing and a miss. Urso. Daskau, 340 average on the year.
Yeah, Daskau's had a huge year at first base, the new first baseman for this season.
He was well-traveled before he ended up in Tampa. I think if I read it correctly, 3 or 4 different schools before he came here for his grad year.
Yeah, he had a bit of a reunion with Valdosta State last week in the loss, but they'll actually be traveling. The Spartans will be traveling to Georgia to play them again later this month, or later in April.
Those are always good games. I mean, they're a good team. They're a regional opponent, so it helps in the NCAA rankings. Joe Urso likes to get games like that in, and Valdosta State's always a quality opponent.
Yeah, and that in the last series of the year against Newberry, that's going to be one to highlight, because right now that's a top 10 matchup in Division II.
Ball outside. Yeah, the very last series of the year. Typically, the Spartans would end on a conference game, but there's an odd number of teams in the conference, so somebody always has a weekend off, and that Spartans happen to get the weekend off on the last weekend. Check swing, called strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes now with 2 out. Little off-speed pitch by Omans.
Omans is the second best pitcher for the Sharks. He's got a 4.06 ERA through 6 starts this season. And he's got a very good walk-to-strikeout ratio, 39 Ks to 12 base on balls.
That's very good.
And that's going to be something that should turn around the fortunes that this Sharks pitching
He's
couldn't
maybe
do
had some
last
bad luck, though, with a 1-3 record, though.
Yeah.
Interestingly. Must be pitching on the road. Swing and a miss, gets out of the inning, so a couple Ks by both the starting pitchers in the first inning. Spartans leave a man on first. No score for Tampa in the first. We've played a full inning, 1-0. Nova Southeastern leads Tampa on TampaSpartans.tv.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Top of the second inning we go. Tampa trailing Nova Southeastern 1-0. Tampa won yesterday's first game of the series, 6-2, a doubleheader today, so about a half hour after this game. They always say 4 o'clock, and it never hits that number, but will be a second game today. There's one down the right field line, falls in for a base hit. Cumbo gives chase, tracks it down, and will hold him to a single. Nice play by Cumbo to get that ball back fast.
Yeah, I thought that ball was hit way harder off the bat and would have been, for sure, extra bases, but Cumbo doing the best job to limit a single on there.
So that was Franco going to the opposite field. Brings up Aven to the plate. First pitch, call strike. Aven, 14 games this year, 14 starts, 47 at-bats. Though just a 191 average.
He got the start last night for the Sharks. Going 0 for 3, though, with a strikeout. And 2 men left on.
Stranded base runners. 86 degrees here in Tampa, sunny. I said there was a breeze. It says it is. There's one hitting down the foul line. Ooh, Dasco gives chase, goes tumbling. I always have to mention this every game we broadcast. We have one camera. It doesn't move. So you did not see Dasco dive for that ball because we don't have any room in the press box to move left or right. So what you see is what you get. And we'll just make sure we describe it accurately.
You only missed strike 2, though.
Okay. Wind, as they say, is out of the south at 12, so it's a pretty good breeze. That'll blow balls in, hit out into right field, keep them from leaving the park. Doesn't mean they won't. That one is hit deep in the gap. Moving over as Lions. Makes an easy catch, though. Right in front of all the national championship banners out there. If you didn't get to count them, there's 7 of them.
It is good to see Lions back out in the field of play. In that first series, he was playing first base primarily and got hurt in an obstruction play. And then from there on, he's kind of struggled to get his way back into the lineup. But today, with some shuffling around, he gets the start in Game 1.
He's a quality hitter, quality defensive player. Great guy. His grandparents and uncle, his granddad, I should say, and uncle almost always show up to the games. They're not here today. Mostly because where they sit is totally in the sun right now, and they don't like that too much. Grandpa doesn't like the sun, especially when it's 86. Line shot. Rodriguez gets the double. No. Throw pulled Dasco off the bag.
Nearly a double play on the line out. Rodriguez started last night, but in the outfield, and now he gets back into his primary position of second base.
which moves Earhart, who normally starts at second base this season. As far as I know, this is his first start at third base, but correct me if I'm mistaken.
He may have one. He's played third base this year, but sometimes it's a late inning move.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know I can't remember if he started any. Over his career, he started pretty much. He's been catcher at times.
I've seen him catch this year too.
And I asked him if he wanted to pitch sometime. He said I wouldn't turn it down. 234 games. Wow. He has been here so long, he saw Joe Urso pass 2 milestones. And I can't remember exactly the numbers, but like his 800th and 900th career wins.
It's a lot of winning.
Yeah. Back to the top of the order with Schisler. 2 outs, 2 balls, 1 strike. Franco on first. Short lead. That is hit, though. Down the line, I think it's curving foul. Boy, that had enough to get out of here, but it's foul by about 10 feet.
Yeah, Thurman got away with one there.
Yeah.
But it's a very loud strike 2. 1 strike away from getting out of the inning.
So, Shane, I know you like baseball, and you were thinking more, you like the writing style more?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to the Cape Cod League this summer for an internship.
Nice.
I'll be working for the Cotuit Kettleers.
It's like their media guy?
As one of the... There's me and one other, but we'll be doing sports writing and kind of splitting duties.
Very good. Nice stop by Gutcher. I know Taylor, who you've done games with, Taylor Stolworthy, last year was the play-by-play announcer of a wood bat league in New York.
Yes, for the Elmira Pioneers, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, he told me all about... You got to see Niagara Falls and...
3-2 count, he walks him. So second walk of the game. Puts runners at first and second.
This is the designated hitter, Adam Frank.
Adam Frank to the plate. Now, one thing to watch is, I will admit, from what I've seen, Franco is not the most fleet of foot out at second base. So if there is a sharp single, will they send him with 2 outs? We won't find out. Oh, safe, yeah. I thought he might have beat it out. They tried to get the force at second. Possibly the double clutch, waiting to get the ball. I thought he maybe was just going to tag Franco because he had to run.
Yeah, I mean, he could have taken a lot of options there, but I guess if Franco's not fleet of foot, we know that Schisler is.
Yes. So that loads the bases. They're calling it a fielder's choice, not a hit. And it brings Pastore to the plate.
Yeah, so from 1 strike away from getting out of the inning, now to bases loaded with the number 2 batter up.
Yes, who singled his first time up. Ball just missing. Goes 1-1. Yeah, well, it looked like a routine force out, fielder's choice. Ends up with the bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He went flailing after that one.
Yeah, Frank isn't one of the qualified batters on the team, but he is hitting .333 on the season.
And qualified, I think the SSC says at least 2 at-bats a game, I think is their criteria.
2 plate appearances per game and 75% of games played.
Okay.
So he misses on only 10 games played this season, entering today.
So they're at their 24th game, so he'd have to have 16, 20, 18, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I wasn't a math major.
Me neither.
I'm close. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. 1-0. Nova already on top. Pushed a run across in the first. Thurman fires. Fouled off. 2-2. Have you done other games, softball or anything?
Just baseball, so far.
Good.
I only started on the payroll this season.
Okay.
So,
swing and a miss. They get out of the inning with no damage. So a big strikeout for Thurmond. That is his third of the game. No runs score, though they did pick up a couple hits. At the end of an inning and a half, still Nova Southeastern 1, Tampa nothing on TampaSpartans.tv.
I pledged.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
We go to the bottom of the second inning. Nova Southeastern still on top of Tampa 1-0. The Spartans will send up Garavito Cumbo Rodriguez against Omans. You know, Shane, you look at this field, it's become an all-turf field this year. It was a grass field forever. Took a lot of wear and tear, a lot of games. They practice here. There were a lot of high schools renting the field. 1 year, a couple years ago, the National Club College Baseball, they weren't varsity teams, but they were club teams, had their
I would love a grass field, but you would take a turf field over a poor grass field.
Yep. First pitch. You played baseball?
Yeah, I was a captain of my baseball team and for my senior year, as well as basketball.
Can you regale us with some great moments, too, at some point?
Yeah, I mean, my senior year, I had a torn labrum, so hitting, it actually was in my left arm, not my right arm, so I could play defense and I could do all that, but hitting is actually would cause a lot of issues for me.
Base hit up the middle. Garavito. See, I played basketball in high school. My claim to fame is we played this one team. It was up in a suburb of Chicago. This one player who I was guarding who ended up going to Northwestern and becoming their all-time leading scorer, 2,000 points in his career. I held him to 32 points one game. He was averaging 24.
It's like the Jordan rules.
Yes. E.J. Cumbo with a man on. But then I also said I was averaging 4 points a game, and I ended up with 8. I doubled my output. He did not. So who had the better game?
Yeah, I mean, basketball was kind of the same way. I was a captain on the team, and despite my one start of the whole season was senior day.
Okay.
But I guess my coach liked my lead by example.
Good.
And for the younger guys, too, as well.
We always said we had senior day or parents' day every game, so that way we'd have at least 30 people at the game.
Uh-huh.
Strike 2 to Cumbo. Waves the bat, gets ready, ball high. Garavito coming in with a .305 batting average. Cumbo, one of the tops on the team, .406. Watches one outside.
Yeah, Cumbo's had a bit of a journey in the batting order.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the season, he was the cleanup for a while, and then before you knew it, he dropped down to number 8. And now the leading batting average on the team, he's only batting 6th. I think that just says how good this team is.
Fouls it off. And I know Joe Urso told me years ago, sometimes when you do the batting order, don't worry whether you're 6th or 7th. He thinks things out and says, all right, let's say on average you get 4 or 5 hitters up in the first inning. Well, if that's the case, putting a .406 guy as the 6th hitter may be the leadoff hitter to start the next inning, or in this case, the second batter. So there's a strategy behind it, getting guys up when they can make the most of that opportunity.
Yeah, I know some coaches think in terms of groups of 3 when they make their batting order.
And, of course, if you come up to bat in the first inning, that's even better. There's one rip. That is going to chase him all the way to the wall. Makes the catch on a run. Nice catch by Castanedas.
Yeah, Cumble put a charge into that one, but...
They played him deep, which helped.
Yeah, it was direct shot at the right fielder, but all that he had to do was just run.
One out. Man on first. Swing and a miss. Chases him out of the batter's box.
Rodriguez is a transfer from Florida Gulf Coast, but had an elbow injury in the preseason that prevented him from playing more for the Spartans this year. I did a season preview article for the student newspaper, and I had a lengthy conversation with Coach Urso for that. And he said he was looking forward to getting Rodriguez in the lineup as soon as he was healthy. And I believe he started the season with Mississippi College during that series in the beginning of March or at the end of February. And now he's become a regular in the lineup, as predicted.
0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, though. Goes down swinging, 2 down. Brings up Jamarcus Wyans, the number 8 hitter for Tampa. Left fielder. Good to see him getting back. This is game number 15 for him. 33 official at-bats. Foul just makes Joe Urso dance out of the way.
Yeah, just the 10th start for Lions for a long time. Spartan, nearing the end of his career here.
Just missing outside. Beautiful day here in Tampa. This is an urban college. You can tell that's downtown Tampa you see over the center field wall. Ball inside. What you can't see is that downtown Tampa and the campus are separated by the Hillsborough River. Hillsborough River gained fame a few years ago when Tom Brady threw the Super Bowl trophy from one boat to another.
Yeah, that was a year before my time, but here at the University of Tampa. But I remember buying a shirt with his little of the parade.
Maybe the most vital catch of the season for Tampa.
Yeah.
3-1 with 2 outs. Ground ball coming in at third to make the play, and they call it a. All right, I guess it was a third out. Everybody kind of went in slow motion there. I think Lions slipped coming out of the batter's box, and there was no urgency to the throw. They get the third out. Spartans do not score. We played 2. 1-0 Nova Southeastern on top. TampaSpartans.tv. Murray to the plate. 0 for 1 today. Righty against lefty. Ball outside.
Yeah, the Sharks have put a runner in scoring position the last 2 innings, but just the 1 run to show for it. And that's going to get the pitch count up for sure.
Down the middle but low. 3-0.
I can't tell if there's any action yet in the Spartan bullpen, but I think what would be interesting for me to watch today in a doubleheader is that once you use a guy, like they're done. They're not going to. It's not even a situation where it's back-to-back games, and maybe if a guy has a short outing in relief, he can come back and pitch. That's not safe for arm health.
Ground ball heading out between first and second for the base hit. Irizarry with a single. Well, the Spartans got a nice relief appearance out of Braden Nelson last night. Went 4 innings, so they only used one out of the bullpen, though they did use their star.
Yeah, it was a no-hit outing over 4 innings.
Yeah. Was talking to his dad, Todd, who sits usually right below us.
Yeah, the
ground ball. Rodriguez tries to turn it. Urso, the relay in time. A nice 4-6-3 double play for Tampa.
That's going to be the 23rd double play of the season for Tampa. They were tied for 15th in all of Division II entering March 23rd. And they got a big one last night, too, in the 4th inning. That got them out of the bases loaded jam. And this one is going to put a lot of ease on Thurman's arm.
Ground ball foul.
Looking for a 3-up, 3-down inning now.
Castaneda to the plate. 0 for 1 on the day. Right up the middle. He's 1 for 2 on the day. That one made Thurman jump out of the way.
And really, if you look at all team stats for Tampa on NCAA.com, they're top 50 in almost every category.
Right.
I was skimming through it this morning.
Mm-hmm.
13th in doubles. As pitching staff, 12th in hits per 9, 17th in walks per 9 innings, and 49th in strikeouts per 9 innings. 8th in walks and hits over innings pitched, better known as whip.
Mm-hmm. Runner goes. Gutcher with the throw. That might get him. No, they call. Oh! Rodriguez didn't realize that Castaneda had overslid the base. And he was able to get back undetected.
Yeah, there's a bit of two different schools of thought with tagging, but Rodriguez, sometimes you just want to slap the tag down and pull it away so the umpire doesn't have time to think.
Mm-hmm.
But right there, if you go the other school of thought and hold the tag on him the whole way, the inning's over because he slid right off the base and wasn't even close.
There's a ball low. Franco at the plate. Stranded on third last inning. Shot right to Earhart, ends the inning. Drew well placed. Played a little goalie on that one. No run scored, just a walk. We've played 2.5. Spartans coming to the plate, trailing 1-0 on TampaSpartans.tv.
sure. I was like, I realized I never came home, like I never went home and like made sure that it worked.
All right, we head to the bottom of the third. Spartans will send up 9-1-2. That'll be Gutcher, Lala, Earhart. So, Shane, you did the recap on the game last night?
Yeah, that's been my primary form of work for the baseball team this year.
Okay. I knew you looked familiar, so you've always been sitting over there.
Yeah,
okay.
On the other side of this wall.
Here comes Sam. Sam, you did the game last night here? No?
I didn't know. Just Taylor. Or just Taylor.
Just Taylor? Okay. Yeah. Taylor Stolworthy, who's been my sidekick for a number of games this year. Oman's the lefty to Gutcher. Fouled off. If you look around this ballpark, you can kind of see it on the screen. There's the outfield wall with the yellow bar. That's a home run over that. But then there's these big poles. There's a screen that encircles this whole ballpark, about 100 feet high. And mainly because that's a dorm over the right field wall. There's a new building going up in left field. There's dorms on the foul ball down the first base line. And there's a major 4-lane street down the third base line. And so they do their best to keep the balls in the park. Though over the years, I've seen a few cars come to a screeching halt out on Cass.
Yeah, the players like to call this the bird cage.
Yeah.
But also, with Gutcher at the plate, he had a power surge over
Grand
the weekend.
Slam over the last weekend, right?
3 home run
in a game.
And that put him up to second on the team in home runs, only behind Doskow. He's got 4 on the season now. And not putting any shame or offense to him, but when you look at him, he doesn't scream second on the team in home runs.
No. Foul back. I did miss a few games. I've been here doing most of the games. We selfishly, we took a cruise for spring break. My daughter took precedent over baseball.
Well, family's always first.
Yes.
We all need a break sometimes.
Yeah. So that was her spring break cruise. She's a senior in high school. Gutcher draws the walk.
But yeah, I mean, those 3 homers from Gutcher, that was in the finale of the road series against Florida Southern over last weekend. And it allowed Tampa to improve their undefeated record in the conference.
Jordan Lala at the plate. Hit the ball hard his first time up, but hit it right out into center field. This time he shows bunt. That's a pretty typical Joe Urso move. If he can get the leadoff man on first, he'll oftentimes try to get him to second. And a guy like Lala is fast enough who might beat it out if they don't come in enough. They are playing close on the grass. This time he does not show bunt, and it's 1-1. Lala, one of the fastest guys on the team.
Yeah, he shows it. He's already at 19 stolen bases this season.
I bet you caught maybe twice, if at all.
Yeah, last year as a team, they were very efficient stealing base. I believe somewhere around 80% of the time they succeeded. But if I can think back to my preseason article, I think Lala only had 17 for all of last season. Now he's already passed it, and we're not even in April.
Yeah. Strike call. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On deck, Drew Earhart. Little throw over. Wind looks like it's whipping a little harder. You can't see it, but there's a U.S. flag just over the right field foul line. Really flapping in the breeze. Base hit for Lala. Do they send Gutcher? No, they're going to hold him at second. Runners at first and second with nobody out. And Drew Earhart to the plate.
Yeah, Spartans looking business right now. First 2 runners on, and now 2, 3, 4 due up.
That ball was hit a little too sharply and straight at the right fielder, so Gutcher just got to second and held up.
And that was the right play.
Yeah, you make a move a little bit, put it down the line more, you've got a shot. Avon passing out some signs from the catcher's position on how to play for Earhart, who singled his first time up.
He's definitely a candidate to square here.
They're playing in at the infield positions. He does show bunt, goes right back to Omans, has no choice but to throw to first. Runners go to second and third. So Drew does the job, puts it into the bat or the hands of J.D. Urso. Good play, gets 2 runners in scoring position, gets the force off the board. And a good hitter like J.D. who's hitting 400. And I always like this one. He's a 2-time Freshman of the Year in the SSC.
Yeah, with the COVID year, it's done a lot to... It's kind of made eligibility almost not like the rules about it.
We need to get beyond this point so we can get back to regular.
We're very close to the end of it.
Yeah.
But
strike one to Urso. Inside makes him... Did it hit him? It did.
Yeah, I think got him on the
hit him on the foot. Yeah. So he will go to first. Sharks bullpen. Shane, you had mentioned you were looking earlier to see if anybody was in the Spartan bullpen. Well, last year, the Spartan bullpen was just like it is down on the line for Nova Southeastern, just over the foul line. But when they put down the turf field, Joe Urso said he wanted to hide it.
Yeah, I mean, so I certainly understand the advantage. You don't want the other team to know. If you can hide what's going on from the other team, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Just, it's a little selfishly, we would like to know, too, up here in the booth.
Yeah. So, to me, the reasons are, A, they don't know if anybody's warming up. B, they can't see who it is warming up and possibly plan some lineup changes based on that.
Yep.
And we just sit here and wait to see who runs out. See if we can get the number. Dasco at the plate. Omans, his first really tough situation here in the third. Popped up, giving chase. Is it going to go foul? Nice. Oh, he dropped it. Nice. I thought it was going to be a great diving catch by Pastore, but it went sliding out of his mitt foul.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was in frame, but that would have been.
No. It would have been just
Center worthy.
Yeah, oh, yeah. A heads-up play, though, for Gutcher at third because he was going to tag and score. If he makes the catch, there's no way Pastore gets up in time to throw him out.
Yeah.
So possibly a blessing there.
Yeah,
we'll see how it plays
coming
out.
From the home plate of the bullpen. That's about halfway down into right field.
Ball in the dirt. Or it continues to give life to E.J. Dasco. So pick your poison on this one, I guess. Ball high, 2-1. First game of a doubleheader. Second game scheduled for 4. It'll be about 30 minutes after the first game ends. Ball inside. We go 3-1, and I'm obligated to say there's nowhere to put them.
There is not. Not in a one-run game.
There
are
certain things broadcasters have to say. Dasco twirls the bat. Omans gets the sign in the stretch. Ground ball up the middle. They may turn 2. Spartans will get a run. The return throw. They got the double play to end the inning.
And no runs.
Dasco had a chance to beat it out. So the actual hit by pitch for Urso is what ended up getting the force out into play, and they end the inning. So the Spartans do not score in the bottom of the third. We've played 3 full, 1-0, Nova Southeastern on top.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
We head to the top of the 4th inning. Nova Southeastern still on top of Tampa 1-0 as they scored in the first inning. To get you through the 4th, 5th, and 6th, Shane, take over.
Well, Tampa was not able to get a run across as they had bases loaded and 1 out, but Doskow grounded into a tailor-made 6-4-3 double play on a 3-1 pitch where the previous batter, J.D. Urso, got hit and set up the force play. So, but now here's Thurman. The first pitch is lined into center field. Lala's under it, and he makes the grab for the first out. That was Avon, the catcher. Now,
I never like it when they swing at the first pitch. You never get a chance to say anything about the batter.
Yeah, well, all I can say now is he's 0 for 2.
Yes.
But here comes the shortstop, MC Sagaro. He lined out to the second baseman his first time up. Fastball in there for strike 1. Thurman, his pitch count is now at 55 through 3 1/3 innings, but it was up there before he had a 10-pitch inning last in the 3rd.
Yeah, he got out of that one quickly.
And now he's quickly up 0-2.
I mentioned Todd Nelson's dad, and he said Todd had 3 strikeouts at one point, and he said he was looking at the stat monitor. Oh.
This one's grounded to third. Earhart makes the throw.
Nice. Todd said he was looking at the stats, and he said it was listed as thrown 7 pitches and had 3 strikeouts. And I said, oh, okay.
I think it's almost impossible.
And I'm thinking, no, they don't have a pitch clock. They don't have some strikes called.
Now back to the top of the order. Steven Schisler steps up the bat. He struck out his first time and then walked in the second inning.
It's good to see Thurman getting 2 quick outs here.
What's interesting for me is that Steven Schisler, he's the starting center fielder today. He has pitched as well for the Sharks this season.
I saw that. I went through their roster, and there were 2 players who were listed as could pitch.
And, I mean, who knows in a doubleheader?
Yeah.
But 0-2 now. Low and away. Waste pitch there from Thurman.
And actually, looking at the stats here, he's got a 3-1 record. 5 appearances. No starts, though.
He's worked the count to 2-2 now.
2-1 record, I should say.
Schisler thought about swinging at that one, but doesn't. And now from 0-2 to a full count. The payoff pitch is lined weakly. Rodriguez has to charge and make a throw on the run, but it's not going to be in time. An infield single that he just got sawed off on.
Yeah, Rodriguez did everything he could and it was coming in fast, but it was just a little thing that got beyond Thurman. with no pace. Schisler does not look slow.
No, we know he's not slow. He beat out that.
Yeah, his previous.
He beat out a fielder's choice play to second base, his last trip around the bases. So we'll see what he's able to do now. The designated hitter, Adam Frank, steps in. He singled in the first inning and then struck out in the second.
Oh, good thing he's.
Yeah, fastball.
I thought that hit him on the elbow, but
I thought maybe knob of the bat, just the way it sounded. But
they're
going to award the hit by pitch.
Tell you hit me in the elbow, I won't just walk to first.
Yeah, I think based on the way he's acting, I think it did get him.
Maybe the forearm or something, or the hip.
But he's all right to run.
But again, that sets up scoring position again for another inning.
Yeah, the Sharks have been threatening a lot in this game. But it's a low-scoring 1-0 affair through the first 3 innings. Thurman tries the hanging pickoff move, but nobody's there to cover.
Another thing we were told, speaking of the pickoff move, he maybe had no intention of throwing it, but they are on a pitch clock. That there is no clock you can see. It's the umps keep it in their head, and if you think you're close to running out the clock, if you make a attempt to throw to a base, you reset the clock.
Now, is there a limit on that? Like we'll be seeing?
Probably. I don't know for sure,
Okay.
but I don't think you can do it time and time again per batter or per inning.
Pastor flies one into center field. Lala ranges back, but he will be under it, and he makes the grab for the third out of the inning. 2 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Still 1-0 Nova Southeastern over Tampa.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
On my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
All right, and welcome back to the University of Tampa baseball field. The game 1 of a doubleheader between the Nova Southeastern Sharks and the number 2 ranked Tampa Spartans. The Sharks lead 1-0 heading into the bottom of the 4th.
By the way, Shane, I should add that starting in 1 hour, Nova Southeastern's men's basketball team is playing for the NCAA Division II championship.
And that team
they are an amazing basketball team.
35-0, right?
Yeah, they average about 100. At one point when they played Tampa, they averaged about 105 points a game. They gave up 80, which is a lot. But then you say, but you still won by 25.
Yeah.
And the other thing that was interesting is Coach Crutchfield at Nova Southeastern. They're playing West Liberty, the second-ranked team in the nation. He coached at West Liberty, took the job at Nova Southeastern, so he's coaching against his old team, and they are coached by a former player of his at West Liberty.
Wow.
So, old home week for the championship game. And, as long as I'm on it, kudos to the Spartans women's basketball team as they made it to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, it was a record-setting season for the women's team in many ways.
Yeah, and I'm happy to say I broadcast all their home games, and just an incredible season. Sydney Kinn, the National Player of the Year. I called her the best one-and-done they've ever had in Tampa. Came here for her grad year.
But back to the baseball action now. It's a
That's
full
right, we do
count
have a
on
game.
Garavito. Southpaw Cooper Omans is still on the mound. 3 hits through 3 innings. This one's fouled away as the at-bat continues. No runs, none earned. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and a pitch count up right around 51 pitches. He comes set and starts his windup. This one's tapped. Nearly a hit by pitch.
Yeah.
Up by the grill of Garavito, but he's laughing about it.
So you mentioned to me you're a Mets fan. Are you optimistic about the year?
I am. I don't think my concerns are going to lie with pitching, but that's because they lost more than in the lineup, and the gaining, adding, but I just think that the National League, it doesn't really matter where you finish, as we saw last season in the postseason. You just got to get in, and I think the same 6 teams should make the postseason again, and from there, any of them can win it, no matter if they're a 6 seed or they're 1 seed.
No, wait. I'm a Cubs fan. You're saying the Cubs are not going to make the playoffs this year?
I think they'll be a very fun team.
I think they're going to be improved.
Hovers around 500.
Yeah, which is an improvement.
Yes.
They made some changes. They were young.
Yeah, a lot of veterans now that have something to prove, like Cody Bellinger and Trey Mancini, but they got the cornerstone shortstop in Dansby Swanson. That one swung on by Cumbo, and
what's the
it's a weird play because I think it was a foul ball, but his helmet came off. I don't know if he fouled it into himself.
Yeah, this is just the umpire giving him a chance, giving Cumbo a chance to gather his wits about him again.
I've managed to do that before, and I know it's not fun. I've chipped a tooth in batting practice because I fouled the ball into my mouth. But still played later that day.
That's a hockey player mentality.
I played football.
Okay.
So
okay.
That's where I got it from. But 0-2 now on to Cumbo. Garavito leads off at first, and the pitch is taken high.
They're giving him a lot of room down the right field line for a lefty batter, and they're shaded in center field way to left. So I think he's swinging late.
I mean, he roped a hard line drive to straightaway right field in his last plate appearance. But he swings on and whiffs on this one. Strike 3 for the first out of the inning. Now we'll bring up Rodriguez, today's starting second baseman. He struck out swinging his first time up. Takes a check swing offering on the first pitch, and the home plate umpire says he went around. It's 0-1. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast that Rodriguez got a late start to the season because of injury. This is his 11th game and his 10th start, but he's batting .333 with a .481 slugging percentage and a .441 on-base percentage. The 2-strike offering is taken high and away. Tampa's still looking to get on the board. No runs on 3 hits so far.
Ow.
And this one hits Rodriguez on the thigh.
I admire these guys for making no attempt or very little attempt to get out of the way. Both sides.
Yeah, they know the value of getting on base, so you got to do whatever you can, especially in a 2-strike count.
Yeah.
So Omans kind of bails out Rodriguez on that at bat. But now, for the second inning in a row, the Tampa's got a chance to do something here. With Lyons at the plate. Ooh. He lines the first one at the Spartans dugout, but hits off the net in front. Lyons grounded out to third his first time up. Back in the starting lineup for the Spartans.
There you go.
He ropes one over the shortstop head. This will fall into the center field. Garavito will be held at third base as the throw comes in. The single by Lyons loads the bases. And just like last inning, 1 out, bases loaded with a chance to do something. Now Danny Gutcher steps in the plate. Quickly into the cutoff man. So Oman's going to have to try to work his way out of trouble again. But his first pitch is taken too far inside, ball 1.
Gutcher got hit last time up. We'll take that again. There you go.
This one's lined to the right center gap. That's going to get down for a hit. 1 run scores. Rodriguez is in, and Lyons is going to be sent all the way from first, and there's not going to be a play. A bases clearing double, and the Spartans take the lead 3-1, and Gutcher has stayed insanely hot for the Spartans.
Boy, he just hit that one where nobody was, right between center and right, bounced off the wall. Joe had no problem sending everybody. They knew that was a hit, so they were moving.
Yeah, it was perfect placement on the hit, and yeah, you knew as soon as he made contact, that was going to be a gapper. So the top of the order now, Jordan Lala, the Sunshine State Conference Player of the Week. He's looking to do some damage here. He takes the first strike. There is action in the Nova Southeastern bullpen now.
Yep, they just jumped up.
A right-hander warming up. I can't see a number from this far away.
No, I can't either.
Lala pokes one into left field. This will fall for a base hit. Urso will send him around. The throw in is cut off from the third baseman, and the throw home is not in time. Jordan Lala. I said that Gutcher was hot. Lala's hot as well. And now it's a 4-run ball game and a 4-run 4th inning for Tampa. So Drew Earhart now kind of in unfamiliar territory defensively at third base today, this season, but he's listed as a utility man, and he can do anything from catch to play second base to... He said pitch if you need to.
He would. I'm sure he's played outfield at some point, too.
But it has not affected his offense at all. He singled his first time up and then dropped down a sacrifice bunt to move 2 runners up.
Boy, they're really stalling for time here.
Yeah.
Avon's been out there for no appearance by any coaches, but a long time for Avon. Finally, they break it up.
Yeah, the home plate umpire had to break up that one. But I don't want to say for Omans now that it's going to get easier, but at least now it's just a runner on first. The damage has already been done. And I bet Avon was just telling him to settle down and get back to what he knows. But Earhart steps in. There is no first pitch as he picks off towards first base. And another one over.
Well, you mentioned last time,
yes,
Lala's got the stolen bases.
Lala is known for his stolen bases. They want him going anywhere. And I bet Omans, as a lefty as well, thinks he can do a good job of keeping Lala in check and keeping him honest at first base.
It's a pretty good lead.
He throws over again.
Yep.
This one low. And at this point, if I was still a player, I'd probably be screaming out, I think he likes you. But
nice
off speed. Yeah,
yeah.
swung on and missed. Strike one. Defense is straight up.
Yeah.
Center field might actually be the most shallow of any of the outfielders.
And shaded just a little to left.
The 2-1. Taken on the inside corner for a strike. Earhart, not a fan of that call. We'll see if Lala moves now in a 2-strike count. He holds. Earhart skies one just beyond the infield. And as one of the Spartans' best hitters. He takes strike one. But Urso batting .388 entering today. And one of the few Tampa batters that have 100 at-bats to this point in the season.
I think they went over 4 now. Somebody had 99 coming into the game.
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, well, Nunez would... His next at-bat will be his 100th.
He's the one sitting on that line.
And there's a few others in the 90s and high 80s. But now 1-2 to Urso. Almans comes set. And
Almans
very
off
close.
the mound, walking back. Spartans as a team, you were talking about hitting. 329 as a team. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's the team batting average is good for the 16th best in Division II through March 23rd. They're also 22nd in on-base percentage with 429.
Oh.
But strike 3 called. Urso looks at one kind of right down the middle. But a huge inning for the Spartans as Danny Gutcher and Jordan Lala bring in 4 runs together. And after 4, Spartans 4, Sharks 1. And welcome back into the top of the fifth now. Irisari steps into the bat. Daniel, a left-hander, popped up to short his first time up through the order, and singled in the third inning. Eli Thurman is back out there for his fifth inning of work, as he has Irisari in a 2-strike count early. Or, excuse me, it's 2-1 the count. This one's tapped down to second base. Rodriguez fields, comes set, and makes a good throw to first to retire Irisari. Now, Christian Noriega, the left fielder, comes in. He's had a good year for the Sharks, batting just under 300 at the end of the year, and tied for the team lead in home runs, but that's not saying too much, as there's 3 men tied with 2 home runs for the team lead, but Noriega is one of them. He takes a called strike. And good morning, good afternoon, good night. Noriega goes down swinging, and just like that, Thurman is 2 outs. My partner Jack and I had talked earlier about how Thurman had a high pitch count through the first 2 innings and had some trouble, gave up a run in the first inning. But now from 44 through 2, he's under 80 pitches through 5, nearly 5 innings. And he's doing a good job in this inning of getting ahead of batters, as that one is fouled off. This fastball misses just outside. I think also the run output in the bottom of the fourth is going to help Thurman. He's got to pitch with a lead now. And I know Coach Urso and the rest of the Tampa's coaching staff, especially in a doubleheader, is going to want to ride him as long as they possibly can. Castaneda pops this one up, but out of play. Hoswani strikes it out into the catcher's glove. And ABC 1, 2, 3 as the Jackson 5 plays over the speakers here. Heading to the bottom of the fifth, it is still Spartans 4, Sharks 1. All right. In a very warm afternoon here at the University of Tampa baseball field, the University of Tampa Spartans lead the Nova Southeastern Sharks 4-1 in the bottom of the fifth. And the Sharks are making a pitching change here, bringing in right-handed pitcher Anthony Caroli. He's got a 7.15 ERA and what is now going to be his 10th appearance and 1 start this year. he had a very good start through the first 3 innings, and then things kind of just fell apart for him in the 4th inning. A nice crooked number that the Spartans were able to put a little dinky single into left field. But this will bring up the 4th hitter, E.J. Doskow, the Spartans cleanup hitter, as he takes strike 1. Doskow is a huge power threat, leads the team in home runs with 5. As he fouls this one back. Doskow's slash line is a .340 batting average, a .435 on base percentage, and a .585 slugging percentage. One of the highest on the teams in slugging. That one just missed. It's 1-2. Carolee comes set, begins his windup, and the 1-2 fouled back into the net. Doskow has fouled off a bunch here, as the Spartans are going to see their first right-handed pitcher of the day. This one's lined into left field, and Christian Noriega decides not to make the play on it, as it drops in for a leadoff single for E.J. Doskow. And he walked his first time up. Or excuse me, singled his first time up and walked in the 4th inning. He takes strike 1 there. This one's hit hard, but fouled out of play down the right field line. Tampa now has 7 hits in this game compared to Nova Southeastern 6. Both teams had just 7 hits all night in last night's 6-2 win for the Spartans. Doskow takes off, and he's going to be in there with a stolen base. He picked a good time to run. He got a huge jump, and it was benefited by the fact that Carolee threw an off-speed pitch there. So, I don't think the Sharks are expecting the bigger in size Doskow to take a base, but now he puts himself in scoring position with a known out. However, Garavito finds himself in a 1-2 hole. And the pitch from Carolee is another breaking ball, but stays inside and never breaks enough, and that hits him on the shoulder. A lot of hit batters today. Sharks manager Laz Gutierrez is going to come out to talk. No action in the bullpen for Nova Southeastern, so this isn't going to be for a corresponding move, but going to talk over with just his battery mate, Colby Avon, and try to get him back on track and limit any more damage to keep the Sharks in the game. The Sharks are still looking for their first true road win this season. 0-8 so far. And they haven't had to play on the road since February 26th, where they had a 7-game losing streak between a 4-game series against the 2021 national champion Wingate and Sunshine State Conference opponent Rollins. But Cumbo drops a perfect bunt down the third base line. The throw is not in time. Daniel Irisari had to charge it and come in and made a strong throw to first, but Cumbo running out of the left-handed batter's box just too fast. And it's a bunt single. And now the Spartans are really in business with a bases loaded, no-out situation for the starting second baseman and Florida Gulf Coast transfer, Luis Rodriguez. The corners come in for the Sharks, while the middle infielders are going to play back for a double play, or a potential double play. The outfield remains straight up. Rodriguez takes a first pitch fastball for a strike. Takes a few signs from Coach Urso in the third base's coaching box. Swings on and miss at this one. 0-2 now. Swung on a miss, strike 3. That's a huge out for Carolee, who's got an ERA higher than he would have wanted. But now the whole infield can play for a double play, just like they did in the third inning to get out of the bases loaded 1-out jam. They couldn't get out of it last inning. It was the same situation when Gutcher came up and had that bases clearing double. But for the third inning in a row now, Tampa can blow this game open, really. As Lions would be a great candidate to break out. He took an off-speed off the plate for ball 1. Lions is a junior utility player who can play both in the outfield and infield. He's usually either the left fielder or first baseman, and a Tampa, Florida native who's up 2-0 now on Carolee. Fastball taken on the inside corner for strike 1. I don't think Lions was looking for that pitch anyway. The whole infield is back now. This one almost skirts away from the catcher Colby Avon, which was a problem last night in the 6-2 loss. 1 pass ball and 3 wild pitches in total allowed Spartans base runners to advance bases. And one of the runs scored off of one of those wild pitches from Sharks pitching. But the 3-1 is taken for ball 4, and that's going to bring in a run. 5-1 now will be Tampa's lead. Excuse me. And I think at this point you might have to think about getting some action in the bullpen. There still is none. Nobody up and throwing down the first base line, but the manager already came out and talked to Carolee. Carolee has not had a very good season to date, and he's struggling in this one already. He can't get ahead on the catcher Danny Gutcher. He's ahead 1-0. Gutcher pops this one foul. over the first base dugout. A nice breaking ball there. Falls in for strike 2. If Carey is able to get a strikeout here, that'd be a huge step in getting out of this jam. He comes set and delivers. A fastball that misses just outside. It's 2-2. Grounded down to second base. They get the 4-6, but can't get, not in time for a throw to first. Garavito comes in to score. And Gutcher with an RBI fielder's choice for the second out of the inning. 6-1 now, Tampa. Runners on the corner now for the Tampa leadoff hitter, Jordan Lala. Gutcher runs. The throw is not in time, and Cumbo is able to come in on the play. Colby even gave a good one-hop throw to the shortstop, MC Cigarro, but Gutcher just too fast, and NSU sold out for the stolen base, giving Cumbo free reign to score home standing up. They put a 3 spot now in the 7th inning. Excuse me, in the 5th inning, and lead 7-1. Count is 1-1 on Lala with the runner at second base. They try a pickoff attempt here, but not in time. Somewhat of a timing play or a daylight play with the shortstop coming in behind the runner, trying to catch Gutcher off guard, but he was on top of it. He shortens his lead now as Lala fouls back a fastball to make it 1-2. Carey delivers. Taps one foul. Past the diving Irisari at third. Gutcher comes around to score. And Lala with another hit, another RBI. And Tampa's kind of blown this one open. It's 8-1 now in the 5th. Carey just not able to turn around his season today. But it still is inning to eat. The Sharks are going to ride with him no matter what happens, it looks like, through this inning. Nine hits for 8 runs and counting, knowing the Tampa offense. Drew Earhart isn't up to bat now. He's 1 for 2 so far today with a sacrifice bunt. The pickoff attempt on Lala. Nothing happening there. He takes off. And he could have danced into second base. There was no throw. And Colby Avon, the catcher, and the rest of the Sharks defense pay no mind, as Lala just keeps racking up his stolen base numbers so far this season. He's got 20 plus now, and we're not even done with the month of March. He should surpass his 2022 total of 17 by a very wide margin. Carey comes set. The 1-1 pitch. And off speed. Just missed outside. And for the Sharks, I think you have to question how much bullpen depth that they have. There's some players that have played for the Sharks today that did not travel with the team today. As Earhart checks his swing, but doesn't hold up for strike two. Frank Villela and Liam Lojing are not here today. And they're both potential pitchers for the Sharks. Earhart lines this one into center field, but Schisler ranges over and makes the grab the end of the inning. After 5, we've got the Tampa 8, Sharks 1. All right. And welcome back to the University of Tampa baseball field. Tampa added another 4 spot in the 5th inning and doubled their lead now to 8-1. Franco swings at the first pitch. Skies one into right field. Cumbo goes back on and then comes back in to make the play for the first out. Franco's a big fan of the first pitch swing, as I believe he did it the last time on his line out to third base. But it brings up the catcher, Colby Avon, who's 0 for 2 this afternoon with a pair of flyouts. He takes ball 1. Thurman has pitched 5 1/3 innings as Avon grounds one to shortstop. Urso comes up. The throw a little bit wide, but Doskow was able to stretch and hold on to the bag for the second out. From up here, it looked like Doskow may have came off, but show some good athleticism there to hold the bag and make the second out of the inning. So Thurman's working very quick in the top of the 6th inning now. It brings up MC Cigarro. Takes strike 1. Cigarro lines one off the glove of Rodriguez, who almost made an incredible leaping catch, but that'll be a base hit for the Sharks shortstop. Extends the inning and brings back the top of the order with center fielder Steven Schisler stepping in. He singled his last time up. 1 for 2 with a walk this afternoon in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Still nothing brewing in the Sharks bullpen. So it looks like Carolee might actually be getting multiple innings of work. Schisler skies one down the left field line in foul territory, but Lyons has enough room to make the catch as he comes up crashing, not crashing, but braces himself against the wall. And through 6.5, still 8-1 Tampa. All right. And back again on this sunny afternoon in Tampa, Florida, where the Spartans of the University of Tampa overcame an early 1-0 deficit and are now comfortably in front 8-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
It's no fair. I go downstairs just to get some food and a beverage, and you get to call 8 runs.
Yeah, it's been a lot of excitement these last 2 innings, especially in the bottom of these last 2 innings.
Bases clearing triple.
A lot of crooked numbers.
Yeah. Well, Taylor and I always keep track of wins and losses for the broadcasters, too, so I didn't go enough innings to... You took the lead.
Urso pops one up behind the second base bag. Cigarro calls it and makes the play for the first out of the inning.
That's like the third or fourth sky-high pop-up we've seen today. Not that that means anything, but you don't usually see that many.
There are clouds in the distance, but above the field there are none, so it makes it easier for the fielders. And I think almost all of them are wearing sunglasses, too.
Yeah, I would.
So here comes Doskow. Swings and misses at an off-speed pitch.
One thing that will happen here at this ballpark, now that we've had the time change to daylight savings time, the sun sets right behind the press box and will be straight at the pitcher and the center fielder.
Doskow flies one into left field. Cigarro has the range on back on this one, too, and makes the play.
Yeah, your terminology is great there. He had the range. That's a long run.
I thought for sure it was going to be the left fielder's ball,
yeah. But anyway, what happens, and we'll see it in the nightcap game, but it's more prevalent on the Friday night 6 o'clock games, is the sun sets about 7:30, and we've seen it'll affect the left fielder, center fielder, pitcher, basically the left side of the infield, and they'll hit balls out their way, and they'll just shield their eyes and not see it for about an inning and a half.
Yeah,
there are times we'll watch the catcher just throwing it back when they're warming up between innings, and the pitcher will just bail out.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed, too, is shadows coming over home plate in the pitcher's mound based off the canopies that come over the bleachers here behind home plate.
Yeah, this canopy is only about 5 years old. Before, we used to joke you could fry an egg on the seats, but just no shadow for anybody. So it was a great improvement when they brought that in.
So Carey is settled into his second inning of work and is one strike away from a 1-2-3 inning. He's got the designated hitter Garavito down 1-2 or 0-2. He delivers. Swung on a missed strike 3, and I guess take back anything bad I said about Anthony Carey in the last inning because
settled down.
He really settled in. So after 6, it's still 8-1 Tampa, and we'll be back on the Sunshine State TV network.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Back here at the University of Tampa baseball field, where the Spartans lead the Nova Southeastern Sharks 8-1. And my partner Jack Ike has returned from his
hiatus.
Break. So we're going to toss the play-by-play back over to him.
No, maybe she'll let you keep going. It was 1-0 when I left, and Tampa was losing. So you're on the line for the win right now. Yeah, you got a lot of excitement. So Spartans look like they have a pitching change. There definitely is. We just need to get the number.
I think it's number 21, Beckett White.
Beckett White, okay.
Who's got a 1.35 ERA over 6 2/3 innings this season. 11 strikeouts and 5 walks. He's held opponents to a 1.74 batting average this season.
Some pretty good numbers. He's potentially a guy who can go 3 innings as long as he's in the groove.
Yeah, really anybody in the Tampa bullpen has multiple innings, is capable of throwing multiple innings.
Yeah.
And White is definitely one of them that contributes to the 3.37 team ERA. That's the 8th best in all of Division II.
Joe Urso's not a guy who will say, I've got my middle reliever, I got my closer. You know, Braden Nelson's the closer, and he came in the 6th yesterday and closed the game. Yeah. So he just wants somebody who can come in and do the job.
Yeah, he still got the save last night, but just not how you usually picture it.
Yeah. Frank leading off, 1 for 2 today. First batter to face Beckett White. Down the middle, call strike. Taking a look at the Sunshine State Conference standings, Spartans are the only, there are 2 teams in the conference with 20 wins overall. Tampa at 21-4, Berry at 20-7. But Tampa is the only unbeaten team in conference play, 10-0 on the year. Rollins at 8-2, Florida Tech 6-4. Then Florida Southern is at 4-3. And I talked about there's always a team that doesn't play each weekend. That's Florida Southern will catch up. Well, nice job by Rodriguez to get there.
Yeah,
perfectly positioned. So Florida Southern just 4-3. Everybody else has 10 games under their belt. And Berry is another team, actually has 13 games. So they have not had their bye week yet. They're 7-6. St. Leo 5-5. Eckerd is 4-5. Nova Southeastern comes in as 3-4. Palm Beach Atlantic 2-8, as well as Embry-Riddle, as well as Lynn. Tampa, as I said, the only unbeaten team.
Yeah, and looking at those standings, I think Tampa's next series, when they host the Rollins Tars, is going to have
the big one.
So many stars next to that
next weekend.
Both as a matchup between two top teams in the Sunshine State Conference, but also as a rematch of last year's Super Regional, where Rollins eliminated Tampa on this field.
Never want a team to celebrate on your field. Hot day here in Tampa, windy out there. So if there's anything that's helping keep everybody cool. I always give a shout out to the umpires. They're here for both games. They do not get to go into a dugout between innings. They stand out there the whole time. They're on every inning. They do send people out to give them water every half inning.
Yeah, I think Dalton Ross was.
Dalton is the king of getting him new balls, baseballs, and the water break.
And yeah, he'll do dead-on sprints after foul balls too.
And he comes in relief. There's a walk though by Beckett White.
Now batting against the third baseman, David Hirosari.
Spartans have taken the lead in hitting as well. Nova Southeastern already with 7 hits, but only pushed that one run across in the first off of a hit and a walk. And then another hit after that. I think like you pointed out yesterday, the Spartans had, 11 free bases?
Yeah.
The Spartans have earned most of the stuff they've gotten today. I think they've had 3 hit batters, though. Runner goes, fly ball heading out toward Lyons, drifting back near the warning track, jumps at the wall and makes the catch. I had mentioned the wind was blowing a little bit toward left, and I think that kept that ball going, and Jamarcus hung with it, and I thought he was going to make a catch on the track, but leaps up and takes it away.
Yeah, with the left-handed batter, Lyons was shaded more towards left center, and that ball just kept tailing both back and away towards that UT logo. And Lyons made a great leaping catch up against the wall.
2 down.
And on a roster full of guys that can bat 300 and play defense, like plays like that is going to perhaps earn Lyons more playing time.
Keep you in the lineup, yeah. And you said he missed a number of games with injuries.
Yeah, it was... He got shoved in the back on a base hit in that series, in the opening series against Georgia College.
Or a play at the base?
It was a play where it was a normal base hit.
Throw to second, in safely with the stolen base. That story.
But yeah, it was kind of a routine base hit to center field that got by the center fielder. I think it was Jose Cadenas playing that day. And so Lyons was kind of just playing it like a base hit and just kind of standing near the bag, and then all of a sudden the runner was like, oh, well, now I can take second, and gave him a nice shove, and then all of a sudden he got taken out of the game.
So probably no ill intent, but does have to give the runner the baseline.
Yeah, it was very contentious.
Was it?
Afterwards, because, Lyons is on the ground and need to get looked at by trainers.
Ball coming in. Rodriguez called off. Cumbo makes the catch to end the inning. That ball stayed up there a while, but alas, just a fly ball out. So we've played 6.5 now. Still 8-1 Tampa, 7th inning stretch time for the Spartans on TampaSpartans.tv.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
There you hear the final few notes of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. As we head to the bottom of the 7th, the Spartans will send up Cumbo, Saladino, and Lyons. Holding on to an 8-1 lead. This will be classified as a come-from-behind win for Tampa if they hold on, as they trailed 1-0 after the top of the first inning, just like they did yesterday. Cumbo with his patented bat swirl above the head, then he brings it down and gets ready. Ball outside.
One thing I noticed about Cumbo yesterday was he's got new purple batting gloves.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if there's any meaning behind it at
Okay.
all, but
Slaps it foul. One outside. There was a youth league team that went out with the Spartans for the national anthem, and it's pretty common that teams will come to the ballpark and hang out with the players. And I tell you what, you go down there, I can see them down here behind home plate. It's like herding cats. I mean, these kids are throwing the ball around. There's one deep to the gap near the wall. Making the catch at the 375 sign is Noriega, and he bumps into the wall and goes down, gets up slowly, but gets up.
so back-to-back innings now where we've seen two great catches out in left field. Noriega took a brunt of that hit towards his back as he...
Cumbo gave it a ride, but it didn't stay in the park.
I think we've got a pinch hitter here in Nico Saladino. He's in for Rodriguez.
And probably he's come in as a defensive replacement or a late inning replacement, stay and go into second base. Or what you might see is, I don't think so, but he could go to third and Drew back to second.
Yeah, I mean, before the season, I think we knew that it was going to be a position battle for second base primarily between Rodriguez and Saladino, but both can play the outfield too. Saladino's had some starts in left field, as Earhart's been the primary second baseman and Anthony Nunez has been the primary third baseman, but Nunez not in the lineup for game one.
Way outside. Two balls, two strikes, one out, bottom of the 7th, game one of a doubleheader today. Just missing. Avon held that pitch just to make sure the ump got a good look, and he didn't change his mind.
Saladino's got a lot more experience than kind of his position battle counterpart, but they're teammates.
And he got a walk.
But yeah, Saladino, this is his 20th game this season, but a 267 batting average compared to Rodriguez's 333 mark, although threw about double of the more at-bats.
Well, as you mentioned, Joe Urso indicated to you that once Rodriguez got healthy, might not be able to keep him out of the lineup. So man on first, one out. Saladino, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I would say he's potentially a base stealing threat.
He actually does not have a stolen base this season. No, he has one.
One, okay. So he's a threat. Lions, 1 for 2 today. Made a great catch last inning. That one gets away, and that'll send Saladino to second. Avon has to track it down almost to the coach's box.
Yeah, Avon, blocking a ball is not easy, but especially on a curveball in the dirt or the turf now. But I've never seen a ball kick like that.
No, it must have hit him. Might have hit him on the side of the shin guard and deflected that way. Big swing and a miss. A couple years ago, there was a game, man on third. Tampa was in the field. Ball got past the catcher, went all the way to the backstop. Guy from third figured he had it easy. Came hard anyway, but the ball hit the backstop, hit the bricks, and bounced right back to home plate, and they tagged him out by 2 steps. Since then, they've put padding behind the home plate, and now it deadens it, so I don't know if they did that for any particular reason, but it's not going to come back toward home plate anymore.
I don't think it's too big of a backstop here at the field either.
No, just there's about a 3-foot wall right behind the plate, and it hit the bricks and just ricocheted straight back to the plate. Foul back. One ball, 2 strikes. Man on second now. 8-1 Tampa lead. Caroli with the stretch and the pitch. Foul back. Did you say you did a game with Taylor earlier this year?
Yes, against Seton Hill.
I don't know if you did it, but if you do another one this year, every time there's a foul ball back toward us, he flinches. Because he said when he was up in Elmira last year, he had 3 balls come into the press box. There was not a screen like we have. And he will duck out of the way of everything. We've got a screen. It would be amazing if a ball came into us, but he's ducking out of the way of everything like that. Popped up, heading out towards center. Coming in is Schizler, waits, and makes the catch. We'll bring Gutcher to the plate now with 2 outs.
A walk in the 3rd inning. His huge bases clearing, a 3 RBI double in the 4th inning, and then a fielder's choice, but an RBI in the 5th.
Has a chance for another RBI here.
And I think he's really solidified himself as the primary catcher.
Yeah, he definitely has.
Coach Urso brought in 2 new ones between him and Santiago Garavito. But Garavito's been more of a DH.
Yeah, he gets him in the lineup. He likes his bat.
Mm-hmm.
But he kind of went back and forth the first couple series.
But I think, with Gutcher coming over from Eckerd, I think that helps him too. He
knows the league.
He knew how to play in the SSC and knew what it took to play in the conference.
Fouled off. If anybody can see it from home, if you look on the pitcher's mound, there almost looks going right up the mound, up to the rubber, like a strip where you can see there. And if you look at the batter's box, this is a turf field, so that has all those little black pieces of rubber. You can see a very black-looking batter's boxes and the catchers. And they told us that with this turf field, that's fly ball out to, that's sending him deep, near the wall, all the way to the wall, and it clears the park for a home run for Gutcher. I took my cue from the left fielder, who was just sort of working his way back. but then he got to the wall and ran out of room. Gutcher with another home run, and it's a 10-1 Tampa lead.
And just like that, now he's tied for the team lead in home runs. A huge afternoon. I just think Gutcher really likes his Saturday doubleheaders.
But I was saying before Gutcher so rudely interrupted me, is they replace the certain parts of the turf field that get used a lot. And they said about every month or so they will tear spots out and put it back in. And so they probably already replaced near the pitcher's mound and the plate a couple times already this year.
Yeah, I mean, I've played on turf fields a lot my whole life, and I've never seen so much maintenance before, even before and after games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you would think it eliminates, but I see one of the managers, he rakes the batter's boxes and the catcher's box.
Yeah.
But I think another thing is that a lot of the fields, they wouldn't allow metal spikes.
Right.
But here you can tell that all the players are wearing their every game cleats.
Yeah, you could hear them walking around. Out of the
Personally, I never liked playing metal cleats on turf, even if it was allowed, because I always felt it got like you almost dug too deep in, and you kind of got like stuck at times, and so I always preferred molded cleats playing on a turf baseball field.
More of a soccer kind of a.
Yeah. You can wear football cleats.
Football kind of cleat, yeah.
They're not much different.
One thing I asked Jordan Lala, if outfield has the warning track, and a ground ball gets through, base hit. In most parks, the warning track is dirt, and when you go back to catch a ball, you can tell you've left grass and gone to dirt. And that kind of, when you're not looking down, tells you get ready, the wall's coming up. And I asked Jordan, I said, is it different out there? And he said, no, it's just a different color, but we're not looking down, so we don't ever know. We've left the green part to the brown part, and we're coming up on the wall. So I thought that was unusual, that all it is a cosmetic thing, that they wouldn't try to help you out in some way. So like this turf field is green. It's just colored that. It's the brown for the infield is the exact same turf, exact same little black rubber dots.
Yeah, you can do a lot with turf. I mean, I played on a field that was red. It was their school colors are red and like Vegas gold, and they made the infield that color.
Wow.
And they made everything else red.
That might be hard on the eyes, huh?
I did not like fielding. It was hard to field ground balls on it.
I bet.
It was a very light color.
Who's got that blue field? Boise State. Yeah. They've had that for a few years.
I feel like for football, for baseball, you got to make it normal colors because, like,
yes,
the ball on the ground is a big part of it. But football, I mean, it's only fumbles that you really have to worry about.
And it's blue. It's not terribly different from what you might expect. Ball high to Drew Earhart. Spartans now 11 hits to go with their 10 runs.
And Lala's had 4 hits today.
Nice. Little bouncer. First baseman fields it. Franco steps on the base in time to end the inning. Close. Drew hustled. Spartans picked up a couple more on a home run by Danny Gutcher. And it's 10-1 after 7 right here on TampaSpartans.tv. Top of the 8th inning we go. Tampa now 10-1 lead. Shane, thank you for letting me score a couple Tampa runs there. You didn't hog them all.
I'm still up 8-3 though.
You're well ahead of me, which is fine. I'll let you win this one.
We've got a whole nother game.
Yeah, I can come back.
You can come back.
Beckett White still on the mound for Tampa. At the plate is Castaneda for Nova Southeastern. One thing I always make sure I do is it's always Nova Southeastern. They don't want to be called Nova. That's a school in Philadelphia's nickname. And that would be like calling Michigan State, after you say Michigan State, calling them Michigan from that point on, which would not go over in that state.
Well, I mean, speaking of those schools, have you been paying attention to March Madness at all?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Unfortunately, being a Wisconsin Badger fan, I'm paying attention to the NIT for strange reasons. But holy cow, no number 1 seeds left?
Yeah, I mean, they said it was the closest season in college basketball, and then I think that just solidified it.
Yeah.
It's the first time ever.
Drew Earhart on the grounder, over to Dasco for the out. Yeah, I think they had said 5 times only one number 1 seeded advanced, but this is the first time ever none have advanced to the Elite 8.
Yeah, just 1 2 seed in Texas.
Yep. And Florida Atlantic moves on. They're in the Elite 8.
Yeah,
San Diego State moves on.
Yeah. Florida Atlantic takes on Kansas State tonight around 6 p.m.
Kansas State's, that might be the team. Of course, they'll get beat tonight, but to me, they're as hot as anybody. There's one out toward Cumbo, and he makes the easy catch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty big college basketball fan, and I think Marquise Noel has been the most electric player in in the whole sport.
What do you have, 19
the whole season.
assists?
Tournament record, 19 assists.
20 points, 19
20
assists.
points. And
that means you're having something to do with 58 points on the day.
Just like an old school point guard. Is how he's playing. Like, now, of course, he wanted to take some threes from the logo. It's very new school. In the late seconds of regulation and overtime, but still, that was a great game.
And was he the one who looked like he was talking to his coach and threw the alley-oop?
Yes.
Yeah, that was him. Okay.
They were.
I don't know.
I don't know if it was by design, but they were arguing about what play he wanted to call, and then next thing you know, the former Florida Gator Keontae Johnson was dashed wide open towards the hoop and threw like a reverse dunk on the lob.
Yeah.
But
so you'll be able to see most of the games, or were you going to miss one tonight being here?
We'll see how long we're here, but
sometimes Ronaldo can put a game up on the computer over here too. We had another person last year who was also a Mets fan, and he always had Mets games going on here too.
I'm not very good with multitasking, so
no. Even if it all means is watching 2 TVs at once.
Yeah, for the betterment of the broadcast, I'll just wait till I go home.
Strike 3 call. Beckett White with another nice inning, and we have played 7.5. Spartans still up 10-1. We'll be back on TampaSpartans.tv.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
We go to the bottom of the 8th. Tampa 10-1 lead. Trailed 1-0 after the top of the first, but it bounced back, and a new pitcher, Shane, coming in for the Nova Southeastern Sharks.
Yeah, it's number 36, Jason Acker, an 11.57 ERA, a whip in the 2.5s.
You're saying there's not a huge sample size on his pitching at this point.
No, it's only 3 earned runs, but over the course of 2 1/3 innings, that'll make the ERA, that'll give it a high number.
Yeah. J.D. Urso will lead off for Tampa. Strikeout, a hit by pitch, flew out, and bounced out.
I believe there's also some defensive substitutions.
We do see, Smith is now playing third base. Hazard is playing left field. I think that's the only other one. Off-speed pitch, nice fire. Urso swings and misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Urso slaps one to left center, falls in for a base hit. He never even stopped. Turns the corner and goes into second, sliding. He's going to head for third as the ball gets away. Is there a play? No, he slides into third. As Avon wasn't able to field the ball as it got away from shortstop. So what was just a bloop single puts a man on third.
Yeah, Urso doesn't care that it's a 9-run lead in the 8th inning. He smelled double as soon as he hit it. And then as the throw couldn't be handled into the infield,
make the call. He's going to, he never broke stride. Or does first base coach Jose Jimenez tell him to go, or combination of the two?
I think it's...
I know you rely on the third base coach to send you home, but do you make the call on your own?
I think when the play's in front of you like that...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's on you as the base runner. And I'm sure he's earned enough trust to be making calls like that on his own.
Unless maybe Jose is distinctly saying no, no, no.
Yeah. I feel like that's what most coaches are there for. Or they tell you, I'm only going to tell you to stop.
Yeah.
You have to be thinking extra base or thinking you're scoring until I tell you you're not scoring on base hits. Say you're in scoring position.
Doskow takes a strike. It's 2-1 now. And you're never going to call these guys off and say don't try.
Looks like Adam Hunt is in the on-deck circle.
Okay. 3-1 on Doskow now. So Hunt would come in as the DH.
Yeah, Hunt's he's had a lot of pinch hit opportunities as the left-handed bat, and a big left-handed bat, but he'll be making his 15th at bat of the season once he steps in after Doskow.
Ground ball out to second. It's going to score Urso. And the throw, 1 out, but 11-1 now.
in with a runner on third. Easily you score the run, and Nova Southeastern is just going to take any out over a run at this point in the game.
Hunt looks at that one, calls strike.
I think we're getting more strings of substitutions.
Number 30.
TJ Palma's on deck.
Okay, that's a name I'll admit we haven't called this year, or I remember calling this year.
Yeah, he's got 3 at-bats. I'm not sure where they came from, but I think he's only been a pinch runner in games that I've watched here at home.
Adam Hunt, just to give you the lowdown, a sophomore from Brandon, went to Riverview High School. Played a little first base, mostly pinch hit. Sees it go to 3-1. Swing and a miss, we'll go full. Full count pitch on the way. Popped up, that may bloop, giving chase Cigarro, and boy, that kid has good range.
Yes. Cigarro's shown off a lot and has had a lot of opportunities on pop-ups. It's another one where he's ran all the way out into straightaway left field to make a play.
So that's the second out of the inning. Brings up TJ Palmer to the plate. And he is a sophomore from Pleasantville, New York. Went to Iona Prep. Swing, good swing, but fouled it off.
This will be Palmer's 13th game, but
just the 3 at-bats? 4th at-bats now?
Now. And Iona Prep, well, you know what happened at Iona, and I have to say I am a St. John's basketball fan, so I'm
so you're okay
pretty pumped about the hiring of Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
Despite any past successes and or scandals.
Okay. He can coach.
Yes, he can. And I think he's already been doing a good job of it through recruiting and stuff the first couple of days. But
Palmer goes down on strikes. We'll pick up on Coach Patino when we come back. We've got the 9th inning to go. Tampa 11-1 on TampaSpartans.tv.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
1 for 3 day. Base hit his last time up. Sees a strike on the first pitch from Linder. Fouled off. Linder, number 24, 6'2", 225 junior from St. John's, Florida. Went to Nice High School. Ground ball. Saladino gobbles it up. Throws to Dasco for the out.
It's good to see Saladino getting some action at second base.
If you want to know about the wind, which seems to be stronger now, look at Eric Linder's, the bottom of his pants below his knees. We're kind of flapping in the breeze from behind. Of course, now they don't. There they are a little bit.
We were talking about college basketball earlier and the Nova Southeastern team. They're up 4 through 8 minutes.
Okay.
And that game's on CBS, actually.
Yeah, playing for a national championship. Number 1 ranked team, unbeaten all year. You know, they played Tampa late in the season, and Tampa hung with them. After 10 minutes, it was tied. At the half, it was a 5-point game, and we're thinking Tampa's hanging in. And Tampa had a couple guys hurt and were short. And we're like, they're hanging in. You get the right bounce. Might work out okay. It still ended up being 105-80, which is the norm for Nova Southeastern. Ground ball foul.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with a team that's going to score 100 points a night.
And they press. They get a lot of layups, even though they shoot quickly. They don't run a heck of a lot of offense. Couple passes, go to the hoop. Ball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cain's Nos. Cainzos. Pronounce that correctly. Swing and a miss. 2 downs. 2 down here in the 9th. Last plate attempt coming up.
I think one thing I just want to note about Tampa's bullpen and their pitching staff as a whole is that Eric Linder has the 10th best ERA on the team, and it starts with a 3.
That's great. Yeah.
And if he gets this out here, it'll be lower.
Yeah. Let's say pinch hitter coming in, number 27, is Jarrett Hall. He is a 6'5" senior from Tamarack, Florida. The last hope for the Sharks in Game 1. Off speed for the strike.
We've got some last strike sound effects going on here.
Ball game, folks. Eric Linder comes in, shuts him down. Tampa picks up the win. 11-1 is the final score. Just Spartans with 11 runs, 12 hits, and no errors. And Nova Southeastern 1 run, 7 hits, and 1 error on the year. Tampa now 11-0 in conference play, 22-4 overall. Thurman went 6, so he'll pick up the win for Tampa today. And Beckett White, I'm assuming, will get a save because he came in with might have been an 8-run game, so he maybe no save given for this one. Nonetheless, the Spartan Relief Corps does a nice job in this game. So we've got a second game coming up, and it's going to be about 30 to 40 minutes after this one. This one got done in 2.5 hours, which is nice to see. So we will take a break. Join us for Game 2 at about 4 o'clock, maybe 4:15. So we'll be back. Thanks for joining us right here on TampaSpartans.tv.